Hi, I'm Vincent, and in this video, I'm going to make the most complete guide you will ever find on how to use the outreach tool Dripify. So you will see how to connect your LinkedIn and email accounts directly to Dripify, how to set up your accounts with the perfect settings. Then we will focus on how to find leads, and I will show you in details how to find decision makers on LinkedIn Sales Navigator with, of course, all the information you need, like the first name, last name, company name, the LinkedIn URL, and even the verified emails of your leads. Then, of course, how to create your first outreach campaign where you send LinkedIn messages and cold emails in the same sequence. And finally, at the end, how to manage all your replies from all your leads directly in Dripify. So basically, by the end of this video, you will be able to start sending LinkedIn messages and cold emails to your leads with the tool Dripify, and I'm sure it will help you to generate leads for your business. So let's start. Alright, so the first step of this tutorial is to create an account on Dripify. And the good news is that Dripify is offering a free trial, so you don't need to pay anything to start sending LinkedIn messages and cold emails. And now, if you use the link in the description below, you will get an extended free trial. So basically, it gives you more time to land your first clients before even paying money for this tool. So once you've clicked the link in the description, you will be on this page. And now to create your free account, you just need to click here on Start for Free. Then here you can create your free account. And in my case, I will sign up with Google. Now to connect your LinkedIn account, you need to enter your LinkedIn email and LinkedIn password. Then I click on Sign In. All right, so now to connect my LinkedIn account to Dripify, I've just received a code from LinkedIn on my phone. So I type the code and then I click on Submit. All right, so once you've created your free account, you will be on this page. Here, I'm currently on Dashboard. And basically here on this page, I can see my analytics. So the number of messages sent and so on. Then here in campaigns, I can create and edit my outreach campaigns. Then in inbox, I can see and reply to my leads directly in Dripify. So this is very convenient. In leads, I can manage all my leads. And of course, I can import some leads. In teams, I can add multiple LinkedIn accounts. So that's perfect when you manage a sales team. And now the first thing I recommend to do is to go here in settings. Make sure that everything here is perfect. So make sure that you don't have too much connection requests. And here in working hours, make sure that you send message from Monday to Friday. So don't send messages or cold emails during the weekend. And here, make sure that you have the right time zone. So for example, in my case, Europe, Paris. So here, it's not your time zone, but the time zone of your leads. So let's say for this tutorial, I want to target people based in Paris. So this time zone is perfect. Then don't forget to click on Save. Now that we have the good settings, it's time to make sure that our LinkedIn account is well connected to Dripify. And it's time to connect an email account to be able to send cold emails. So if you want to do that, it's very easy. So you click here. And then you click on My Account. Then here on the right, you see my LinkedIn account is Vincent. So that's perfect. And now here you have email account. And this is where you can connect an email account to Dripify. So for that, we click on Connect Email. On this page, you can choose your email provider. So in my case, I have a Gmail account. So I click on Gmail. And here you can choose the email account you want to use. So let's say this one. Here I click on Continue. Then I check the box and I click on Continue. All right, so if I scroll, you see here that my email account is connected to Dripify. So now I'm able to send cold emails to my leads. And by the way, if you want to remove an email, you just need to click here on remove. Now that everything is set up properly, it's time to create our first outreach campaign. So for that, we need to go here and we click on campaigns, then create campaign. And now the first step is to add some leads for our campaign. So I click on add leads. And now what I want to do is to find leads on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And then I will import my leads with this feature, upload CSV file. So let's go on a LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So it's basically a LinkedIn paid plan and you have access to the LinkedIn database. Here you see on the left all the filters that I can use to identify decision makers. And here on the right, I will get my results, so my leads. So let's make a search for this tutorial. So let's say that we want to target people who are CEO and founder. Then a filter I like is this one, company headcount. So I click here and let's say that we want to target SMBs with at least 200 people in the company. So between 200 to 500 people in the company. It's perfect. Then a very useful filter is this one, geography. And here, let's say, for example, that I want to target people based in Paris. So I type Paris and then I click on include. And here you see on the left that we have more than 3,000 results. And now if you want to send LinkedIn messages, I recommend to enable this filter posted on LinkedIn. And by doing that, you target people who are active on LinkedIn. So basically you will get a higher reply rate. And now you see with these 4 filters that I have 1,500 leads, which is perfect. So if I check my results, I have people who are CEO in Paris, perfect, CEO, founder, co-founder and CEO, co-founder and CEO. So that's perfect. Now, if you want to export these people and get all their informations with, of course, the verified emails. So unfortunately, you can't do that natively with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And that's why you need to use a third-party tool like Give Me Leads to have a button like this one, Extract Leads. So if you want to have this button, you can go on givemeleads.io or you have a link in the description. Then once you are on this page, you click here on Start for free. And here you can create your free account. Finally, if you want to have this button on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you need to install the Give Me Leads Chrome extension. So for that, very easy, you click here on Add to Chrome and then Add Extension. So once you've installed the Chrome extension, you will see this button on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And then once you are happy with the search and you want to export these people, all you need to do is to click here on Extract Leads. Then you will be redirected to your Give Me Leads account. Here you can give the number of leads you want to export. So let's say for this tutorial, 100. Just below you have the option to have the emails of your leads. So you select if you want the emails. And finally, all you need to do is to click here on Export Leads. And now you see that my export is currently running. I just want to rename my export. So I target people who are CEO in Paris and the company headcount is between 200 to 500 people. Press enter and now I just need to wait a little bit. As you can see, my export is done and now I just need to click here and then download CSV. So here is my list of leads and if I scroll, you see that I have 100 leads, which is perfect. Now on top, you have all the information you need to reach out to your leads. So you have the first name, last name, LinkedIn URL. So perfect if you want to send LinkedIn messages. You have, of course, the emails of your leads. So same here, perfect when you want to send a cold email. Then you have the job title, location, and actually you have much more information that you can use. So for example, here you have a company name, Company website. So this one might be useful if you want to personalize your message using AI, company location, company industry, and so on. So when you export your leads with Give Me Leads, we do two things. First, we clean the data. So for example, for the first name, last name, and company name, you don't have any problems with capital letters or with the rocket emoji in the first name. And the second thing we do is to check for each lead if the lead perfectly matches all your filters or not. So that's why on the left you see two columns, so matches, filters, and invalid reason. So when it's true, it means that the lead perfectly matches all your filters. But if I scroll, you will see some people with false. So here, for example, you see wrong company size and wrong job title. So if we check, for example, these two leads, we have people who are head of sales and advisory board member. So basically, these two leads are not CEO or founder. So with this feature, what you can do is to decide to keep some leads if they are still relevant, or you can just remove all of them to be 100% sure to only reach out to people who match all your filters. And now that you have a clean list of leads, it's time to upload it directly in Dripify. So let's go back on Dripify here. And now here we click on upload CSV file. Next. Now what I need to do is to select my list of leads on my computer to upload my list of leads in Dripify. I've just uploaded my list of leads and you see that we have 89 people who perfectly matches all my filters. Then I click on next. Here you have some filtering options, but we don't care, so we click on next. And now we need to give a name for our list. So basically I use the filters I've used on LinkedIn Sales Navigator to identify these people. Then I click on create a list. And now you see my list of leads for this campaign. Then we click on next. So at this point, it's time to create our campaign. So here you see that we have many templates that we can use. But for this tutorial, what I want to do is to use this option, custom campaign. And here I will start from scratch. For this outreach campaign, what I want to do is to check if I have the email of a lead. If I have the email of a lead, I will send basically a cold email. And if I don't have the email of a lead, I will send a LinkedIn message. So it's basically a very basic multi-channel outreach sequence. And now it's time to implement it directly in Dripify. So let's start by clicking here on add. And then here, if email available. So if I have the email, I want to send a cold email. So send email. And here, if I click on this box, I will be able to create my cold email. So subject, let's say, find emails. And I will say, hi first name. And if you want to use the variable first name, you just need to click here. So hi first name. Do you use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to build your lead list? Like this. Then we can say best. And then I want to add a signature. So Vincent from Give Me Leads. So when you send a cold email, I strongly recommend you to only use plain text. So don't send any images or links because it will hurt your deliverability. So keep it very simple and you will get a higher reply rate because you reach the inbox of your leads. Then we click on save. And now let's say that we want to add a follow-up. So I want to wait 2 days after my first cold email. And then I want to send a follow-up. So I click on add, send email. And here I can say follow-up. And here you can write your message. Then we click on save. And now here I click on end. All right, so you see that everything is set up properly when we have the email of a lead. Now the next step is to create this part of the sequence. So when we don't have the email of a lead, what we want to do is to reach out on LinkedIn. So for that, we click on Add. Then we send a connection request. And once the connection request is accepted, what we want to do is to send a LinkedIn message. So for that, we click on Message. And here you can write your message. So for example, hi, first name. Do you use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to build your lead list? I click on Save. And now let's wait 2 days. And we want to add a follow-up. So for that, add message. And here we can say quick follow-up. Save. And finally, we click on End. So if we check our sequence, if we have the email of a lead, we send 2 cold emails. So 1 cold email and 1 follow-up. And if we don't have the email of a lead, what we do is to send a connection request on LinkedIn. And once the connection request is accepted, we wait 1 day and we send 2 LinkedIn messages. So that's perfect. And now we click on Next. Here you can give a name for your campaign. And once you're ready to launch your campaign, you just need to click here on Save and Launch. And boom, your outreach campaign is currently running. So if I go here and I click on Back to Campaigns, you see that my campaign is currently running. Now, if you click on it, you will have some analytics. And now here, if you want to edit your campaign, so for example, if you want to add some leads, you just need to click here on Add Leads. And if you want to modify a message, you just need to click here in Sequence. And here, for example, you can modify your message. So for example, this one. And here you can write your new LinkedIn message. Once you've launched your outreach campaign, you will start getting some replies from your leads. And now I want to show you how to manage properly your replies directly in Dripify. So for that, if you want to see all your replies, you just need to go here and you click on Inbox. And here on this page, you will be able to see all your replies. And if you click on a specific lead, you can see the details of your conversation with the lead. So what you can do here is to see all your messages, but what's very interesting is that you can directly reply to your leads in Dripify. So let's say, do you want to try give me leads like this? And if you click here, this message will be sent on LinkedIn. So basically with this feature, you don't need to waste your time to go on LinkedIn and check if you have a new reply from a lead. And finally, quick tip, if you want to manage properly your replies, I recommend to use the tagging system. So if you have a lead who is interested, you can go here and you click on Add Tag. And here you see that you have some tags. For example, ghosted, not interested, interested, meeting booked. And you see that we have much more tags. So let's say, for example, that this lead is very interested. What we can do is to select this tag high priority. Then we click on Save. And now what you can do next is to filter your leads by tag. So for that, you click here. Then tags, let's say high priority. And now you see that we only have the leads with the tag high priority. So it's perfect when you want to only focus on the most important leads. So with this workflow, you can easily find leads on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. You can start sending LinkedIn messages and cold emails to your leads and manage all your replies directly on Dripify. So if you want to try for free Dripify, you have the link in the description. Now, same if you want to try Give Me Leads to easily export leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you have a link in the description. And now, if you want to see a complete beginner-friendly tutorial on how to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to find decision makers, you can click somewhere on the screen. It was Vincent. I wish you a nice day and I see you in the next video. Bye-bye.